Hi, welcome to Sabbath School Daily, where we have been studying from this lesson right here, God's mission, my mission. This week we're studying from lesson number 12, which has the title Esther and Mordecai, and today is Monday's lesson, which has the title In a Foreign Court. Now the context of today's lesson is that King Ahasuerus, the king of Medo-Persia, had a falling out with his wife, Queen Vashti, and had sent her away. We're not going to get into those details, those can be for another moment, but if you'd like a little bit more, read Esther chapter 1. And what happens after that is that a new queen had to be chosen. And so the king's servant sent out looking for several young, lovely, beautiful young women. Among those young women, there was one called Esther, really Hadassah in Hebrew, and she was raised by her cousin Mordecai, and that's where they appear in the story. If you want more details here, you should read Esther chapter 2, verse 1 through 9, and that will give you a little bit more background into Mordecai and Esther and what was going on. But here I want you to put yourself in Esther's place. She's being taken from her family, taken from her people. She's being brought to the palace. She doesn't really know anyone. She doesn't know what to expect in the future. She knew that she was there to perhaps be chosen to be the new queen, but that wasn't very comforting because just as it had happened with Vashti, she could easily be set aside as well. Life wasn't easy for women back then, regardless of the woman. And so here she is all alone by herself, and the only one that she could count on was the God of her people to help her get through things ahead. In this story, we see represented the faithfulness of someone who is going through an extreme circumstance of fear, of not knowing what comes next, and yet they remain steadfast to God. In Esther chapter 2, verse 10 and 20, we find an interesting little side note that says that Esther did not reveal her family or her people. Unfortunately, there was a lot of anti-Semitism in Medo-Persia back then, and it might have been dangerous for her to reveal who she was and where she came from. And that's why she didn't reveal that according to what Mordecai had told her to do. This is how the lesson puts it. In the last paragraph it says, though the text does not say precisely why, it's not hard to guess. As aliens in a foreign culture and religion that, we will see, could be hostile, they were wise in keeping silent about their family and people. What circumstances might you think of where it could be prudent not to be overt about our faith? Or should we never do that? And if not, why not? Now, I've been around several missionaries that have to be very wise, very discerning in how they reveal their religion and what they're in that land to do. I have friends that have been missionaries in India, friends that have been missionaries in Lebanon, friends that have been missionaries in Egypt, and they all tell me the same thing. They have to be extremely intentional in how they reveal who and what they are. And the reason is because you want to prolong your missionary impact. And if you're overt about it, at the very least, you're going to be extradited. And so sometimes you have to dial back in order to have a farther reach. And so I think that sometimes in life, we do have to be careful. An example could be if we meet someone at work or at school who is extremely atheistic, who is outspoken about their dislike for religion and for churches, you won't get very far by being extremely and overtly religious to them, by being combative. The way that you're going to get to them is by first becoming their friend, talk about other things, be a kind person, allow those people to come to respect, to know you, and then they'll respect what you have to say. Maybe they won't like it, maybe they won't even agree with you, but you're going to get a lot farther by being their friend first than by being combative and fighting against them. After all, that's probably what they want, to fight about it. And so if you don't reveal at first how deep your religion runs, how deep your spirituality and your connection to God runs, but you let that simmer through, you allow that to be revealed through time, it's very likely that you're going to have a better chance at reaching them than just arguing and fighting with them. So I think that that's a way where we could apply this reality to our life today. Please study your lesson. The Lord will give you more ideas as you read the lesson, as you read the texts that are mentioned here, answer the questions that appear. Also remember to comment down below with any questions or any comments. I'd love to interact with you. And please remember to like, to share, and to subscribe to our videos. We release one every day. And I hope to see you again here tomorrow for another Sabbath School Daily.